my student, and yeah, so I was still having class with my students while I was there, and because I was there for a month, and a lot of my students were like, "Oh my gosh, teacher Kate, it's so hot in Taiwan right now." And I asked them, "Well, what's the temperature in Taiwan?" "Oh, like it's like 36, 37. Like, oh my gosh, it's so hot." And I told them, "Do you want to feel better? If it makes you feel better, it's 55 degrees over here."
Oh my god, 55.
Seriously. So yesterday was 35 degrees. We were like, "Yay, 35, let's go out to the mall. And my Taiwanese students like, "Oh, 35, 36, that's so hot." I was like, "Oh, 35, we're so happy." Because over here it's 55.
55. Can you even walk on the street?
Well, you have to. You can't go somewhere if you don't walk in the street, right? You have no choice.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
have you ever baked a cake before, Ariel, or baked something? So, if you're baking a cake, or maybe you're baking chicken in the oven, sometimes you would have to open the oven just to check if it's ready or not, right?
Yeah. And you can feel the heat from.
You can feel like that wave from the oven just burns your skin. Well, it doesn't really burn your skin, but it goes to your face and you just feel like, right?
Yeah.
Like that very hot air. So imagine that hot air once you get out of the building, that same hot air is not just in your face but your whole body. And you're walking. So I was like, "Auntie, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm walking inside an oven." And if you fry meat like bacon, you fry it in a pan. The bacon is just like bake, and then suddenly it gets smaller, right? Because of the heat. And the oil would come out, and it just shrinks. So, while we were walking in the park, and it was that hot, it was like 50, like around 55. I felt like my skin was shrinking. I feel like, "Auntie, I think my skin is being cooked." Like it's really shrinking. Like I could feel it. Like like if you put a mask on, right? If you put a mask on your face, you feel like your face is stretching, right? Like stretching. But this time it's not stretching, it's shrinking, like it's becoming smaller. So I was like, I think I'm being barbecued. That's how hot it was, So my students would complain, "Oh, I go to the library for air conditioning." Like, oh my gosh, I don't care about air conditioning right now. I just want to get out of here. So hot.
So
that's how hot it was.
So living there, you cannot live without aircon, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Living in Abu Dhabi, you cannot live without air conditioners.
It's possible. I mean, some people, the funny part was, we were walking in this park, and it was that hot. Believe it or not, there were some Indian people barbecuing under the sun.
Wow.
Like, wow, it's so crazy. Like, they're barbecuing while they're being barbecued. It's like it doesn't bother them anymore. And okay, this is how hot it was. Like, if you go to the park and you see like a water, like a river, although it was
warm
in a river,
water,
maybe like a fountain or something, but it's not fountain. It's like a man-made river, like a stream, like a very small river. And sure, you could play with the water whatsoever. It doesn't matter. You could put on your bathing suit and just go there. And I was like, "Ooh, water. Okay, like I want to cool off. I don't know, I want to soak my feet or something in the water, like just to cool off, or just wash my hands or wash my face because it's just really hot. So me and my cousin went to the water because, water. So, we were so excited because it was so hot. But we were so disappointed because it was so hot that the water in the river was like hot water. Like, if you're going to make coffee, that's how hot it was. You could actually make coffee in that river already. So we're like, oh okay. What?
Is that a hot spring or something?
No, it's not a hot spring.
So it's just because of the sun heat.
Yes, that's how hot it was.
Oh.
Because you see, it's man-made, so there are pipes underground, right?
Oh, I see.
So of course, even if the pipes are underground, because of too much heat coming from the sun, the ground would absorb that heat and transfer it to the pipe, and then again the pipe would transfer it to the water, and so the water coming out from the pipe is hot, and even if it's on the ground already, well, not on ground, like a river flowing, still it's exposed to the sun, so it's still hot, you know. So yeah, you don't see any ducks or whatsoever swimming. So they're gonna be boiled. No animals in the river. Nothing. Yeah, they're gonna become soup. You know, like if you go to the parks, you would see animals like ducks in the lake or whatsoever, right? But yeah, over there, no animals. I told my auntie, because you know, me and my auntie went for groceries and bought some eggs. And I'm like, auntie, if I drop the eggs, you think it's gonna get cooked in the road? Oh, definitely. Definitely. You could just cook eggs, you know, in the hood of your car parked outside the building. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. Or you could put a meat, you know, you could put foil, like meat in a foil. Just put that meat on top of the car. After an hour, you come back for your meat, it's cooked. Yes, that's how hot it is over there. I'm not exaggerating. Seriously. Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, you should visit it, you know, in time Abu Dhabi. It's actually a very nice country.
Well, what's the season of Abu Dhabi? It's all summer, or it has spring, summer, fall, winter?
Not sure.
Okay.
Because what you call it? There are times wherein it's not really that hot. So I don't know if you consider that as winter, but of course their winter, summer, spring, whatever would be different from your country. You know, because it's in the Middle East, it's the desert. You know, it's really hot. But we were there April, May, and it was really hot, and I think we left. Yeah, we left at the end of May, and that was already Ramadan. Yeah, Ramadan season. Ramadan is when the people would just pray the whole day, and you know, no eating, no nothing. And after Ramadan, they have what they call the iftar. Iftar is like a celebration to say, hey, it's time to eat because we did not eat the whole day, because we've been praying the whole day. Yes. So, yeah, that's, I think it's just the same all throughout. Yeah. I think June, July, they experienced a little rain, because it doesn't really rain over there. They experienced a little rain, and that's about it. It's just back to being so hot again.
Okay.
Yes, the whole year. I guess it's just summertime the whole year over there. Yes. And that's the reason why their houses are like square-ish, rectangular-ish. And you see, if you go to your country, like you could notice the rooftop of the buildings would still have a roof, right? And over there, I was just, you know, at the veranda looking at the rooftops of other buildings, and you know what I saw? Aside from the water, aside from the water tanks, okay, you know, like water to supply the building. Yeah, aside from the water tanks, I saw a lot of electric wires just spread all over the rooftop, you know, just tangled and stuff. And I was like, this is dangerous. Like, what if it gets wet? Everybody would get electrocuted, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just there. And my cousin says, well, it doesn't rain over here, so it doesn't matter. And I was like, oh, right, yeah. So I guess it's safe. Well, you can never do that in the Philippines, no?
No.
It's dangerous, but over there they don't care because it doesn't rain. Yeah, there. Yeah, but you could visit Abu Dhabi sometime, Ariel.
Yeah.
It's a very nice country. Yeah, it's just the weather, but you know, like all the buildings are air conditioned, even the bus stop. You know, if you're waiting for the bus, right? There's a bus stop. It's air conditioned.
Wow.
Bus stops are air conditioned. Yeah. Seriously. And like in your country or in my country, if the air conditioner is on, you have to close the doors, right?
Yes.
Because you don't want the cold air to escape, and it's just it's just gonna make the air conditioner work even more, and you would spend more electricity or something.
Yes.
In Abu Dhabi, there are some buildings that are just their doors are just wide open, and while walking, like my daughter and my niece, they were so funny. We were just walking. We went for ice cream. Then we were walking. Of course, it was still very, very hot. And we walked past the building where the door was open. And the moment you walk past the entrance, okay, because the door was open, you just feel the cold air just blowing in your face, like cold air, coming from inside the building. And my daughter and my niece just stood there like, and I was just wondering, why is the door open? Like, really? Like, they don't close it? It's just open like that? It's like, okay, I guess, well, it's Abu Dhabi. It's a rich country. I guess they don't care,
I guess
open.
so.
Yeah, it's just open. They don't care. It's like, wow. So they're like air conditioning the whole city or something. I don't know. But yeah. So that's how it is. No problem when it comes to air conditioning. Everything is air conditioned over there. Yes. So yeah, and then once you get used to it, you don't find it very hot anymore. Actually.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you think the temperature is much higher than where you than in Philippines?
Temperature, of course. Definitely. It's 55 degrees.
Okay. Because sometimes like when in the winter, when I'm in what I want to say is when I'm in Taiwan and in winter, the temperature I should say in fall the temperature is around like 18, 17, and I feel comfortable. But when it comes to the temperature of 18 and 15, 17 and 18 degrees in Paris, I feel very cold, and I couldn't stand it.
Well, maybe because you're used to the hot temperature. So if it's 18 degrees, you feel like it's very cold, And it also has something to do with the air. If the air is dry or the air is humid.
Yeah.
So like if you're in Taiwan, 18 degrees, 20, it's quite comfortable actually. You don't really feel cold, but once it goes to 9, 10 degrees or even 16, 15 degrees, you feel really cold because the air is wet.
Yeah.
It really goes to your bones,
So
like
the
in other country,
So the wet air it makes people feel colder.
Humid air, of course, because it's wet. If it's cold and wet, you're gonna get sick. You easily get a cold. You catch a cold. Yeah. So during the rainy season, people in Taiwan easily catches a cold because the air is humid. But if you go to other countries where the air is dry, people just walk in the rain. They don't mind, and they don't get sick. Yeah, they get sick. Over here, they get sick. So that's the difference.
That's true.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Do you like walking in the rain, Ariel?
No.
No. Walking in the rain. I used to like it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, walking in the rain, but it's just bothersome because once you get home, It's difficult to get home without wetting the house before you get to your bedroom because you're wet. That's the only problem. I need to clean because, I'm wet. The feeling of taking off wet clothes from your body is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like if you're gonna take a shower, your clothes dry, you just take it off and you take a shower and it's good. But if your clothes is wet, it's quite, there's just a lot of, you have to do the laundry right away. You have to clean the house because you wet the floor of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. But I used to, clean the room. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, questions before we start, Ariel?
No.
Great. So I'm not sure where we stopped with this lifestyles. Are we done with the comprehension yet?
No, I don't think so. I think we were talking about I think we finished the words, the red
Oh, okay, the vocabularies.
Yeah, vocabularies.
All right, so I'm guessing you still remember the 3 types of people, right? 3 types of lifestyles. Okay.
Oh yeah. We were talking about the questions.
Are we? What questions
did we start? No, not yet.
I don't think so. I did not mark anything, but
okay.
I don't know. So I'm asking. All right, let's go to number 1 comprehension question then. According to the essay, how many groups of lifestyles are there?
3 groups of lifestyles.
Yeah, 3 groups. Those who are not content, those who do not experience autonomy, and those regular who are just happy with simple things. Okay. What does the expression "to turn one's back on the world" mean? Just try to analyze it. To turn one's back on the world. You could find it in the essay, actually. See, they have no great wealth or political authority. While they may have religious beliefs, they do not turn their back on the world. While they may have religious beliefs, they do not turn their back on the world. But they treasure their families, they value the little things in everyday life, blah, blah, blah. So, what does turn one's back on the world mean? Just by looking at that sentence.
It means they don't they decide not to follow with the flow of what normal people do. They turn their back on the world. They do things different from the normal people. They may have religious beliefs, but they do not. When they say they turn their back on the world, this means those people who are nun or priest, right? So those people. No.
Well, the nuns and priests, monks, they turn their they have their religious belief and they turn their back on the world.
They turn their back on the worlds.
Yes, they did turn their back on the world.
Yeah, so they don't do. So.
Oh, go ahead.
They refuse to, try to make a living for themselves.
Not make a living. Okay. So to turn one's back on the world mean you do not engage yourself with what regular people are doing. Like the monks and the nuns and the priests. They don't get married. They just stay in the church. They just stay in the temple. They don't eat meat. They don't have sex. They don't drink. They don't smoke. They don't watch movies or whatsoever. They're just there in the temple being religious, praying, whatever, that they do. So basically they turn their back on the world because the world, like, look around you. Like, that is the world. This is the world right now. You see outside, you see people driving cars and shit. You see people working, you see people making money, people getting married, people dating,
Yeah.
So that is the world. So they turn their back on the world because they don't do any of those. They're just inside their temples and churches, just praying and being holy, right? Yeah. So to turn one's back on the world it means not doing what regular people do. So that's it. You got it?
Yeah. Not engage in the activities normal regular people do.
Yes, exactly. Right. So next question is, what is the definition of happiness? You could make your own definition.
Happiness?
What is happiness?
I think happiness is you are content with what you have.
Content with what you have. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's easy. I mean, that's simple.
So happiness. Happiness for you is being content of what you
content with what I have is happiness. Well, people who are content with what they have will have happiness.
Right. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, if you're content, actually, you're happy. I was in class last night, and my professor was asking, what do you think is the problem of the world today? So, yeah, what would be your answer, Ariel? What do you think is the problem of the world today?
Yeah, the problem of the world is that people are not satisfied with everything. People want whatever people get, they want more. So people can never satisfied, and so that makes the world, people wants to make more money, and the manufacturer need to make more clothes, lots of plastic, more plastic stuffs, something like that, and then the earth was is contaminated even worse. Yeah. Is that
okay? So basically, if I ask you not about the environment, but what about the people? What's wrong with the world today when we're talking about people?
People, because people I still think that people are not satisfied with people wants to make more money. They want to live a bigger even bigger house. They want to have a more fancy car. They kids needs more toys. So that means people are getting greedy and not satisfied with what they have. And whenever things, you know, the machine, any machines gets broken, they don't try to fix it. They just buy a new one.
So basically, what you're trying to say is people are not content.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. So we actually gave our answers.
What was your answer?
Well, the other answers was my classmates would say, "Oh, there's no peace." I would say, "Oh, there's not much love in the world." The others would say, "Oh, people are full of jealousy and stuff." Yeah, there's greed. Yeah, same answer as you had. And he said, "If you ask me, this world doesn't have equality.
Equality?
We are not equal. And because of the inequality meaning to say we're not equal. Right? So inequality. All right. So meaning to say not equal. Equal, right? Yes. So because he says the world is suffering from inequality. So because of this inequality, we develop greed, jealousy, discontent. Because like for example in Japan, he says, take a look at Japan. Japan, they it came to a point where everybody would have almost the same salary. I'm a teacher, you're a doctor, but we have pretty much the same salary.
Really?
Or I'm senior citizen and you're not senior citizen, but still we're earning the same money. Maybe there's just a slight difference, just slight, but not, so basically most of the people there are equal, and that's the very reason why criminality or criminal rates are low, very low criminal rates, because where does criminality come from? It's because of inequality. I feel jealous because you're rich and I have nothing, or maybe it's because the rich in like in a country, the rich is getting more rich and the poor are getting more and more poor. So you see, like the poor would feel oppressed. They feel like, why? What's going on? Like you becoming rich every day and me, I'm becoming poor and poorer every day. So because of that, I would opt to do something illegal for me to eat, or I would just because I'm jealous, I would try to steal or whatever, just to become equal with the rich people, But if everybody's earning money, everybody has the same kind of house, same everything, same salary, you wouldn't feel jealous because we're the same. You wouldn't want to have more because why do you want to have more? Everybody has the same. You don't have that feeling of I want to be better than you or I want to have more than you, because there's no point. Everybody just has the same.
Yes.
And just in case you have more than me, you wouldn't feel better than me because, for example, you have more than me, but I don't act jealous or I don't act whatever, insecure because you have more money than me. So you don't feel the need to actually have more than your neighbor, So I guess, so the criminal rates are quite low. And he told us, I think the problem I see is inequality.
This sounds like a little bit, it sounds like a communist.
Yeah, yeah. Because we were talking about education last night, and he was asking us, what do you think about the education system of the Philippines? And it's not just the Philippines, but I think it applies to all Asian countries like Taiwan, China, Korea, Japan. He says education system, is like, what is the definition of education? So I was like, well, education is, teaching, like you pass on the knowledge to the next generation. And he says, what do you think is the goal of education? And we're like, well, the goal of education is, of course, to make the country a better country, because you want to educate the future leaders of your country, right? So right now we are running the country, we are working, but the kids like Rosie right now would maybe be a very good accountant someday, or maybe she would be a very good doctor someday. So she needs to get that education to be that person who would serve the country in the future, maybe as a doctor or as an engineer, or whatever she wants to be. Okay. And he said, do you believe that there are stupid students? And I said, I don't think so. I don't think there are stupid students. Exactly. Because if I'm looking at the education system nowadays in most Asian countries, it's not about educating. What was the term he used? It's elimination process,
Elimination.
like,
Okay.
yes, elimination process. For example, there are 10,000 students studying grade school. By the time they go to junior high, there are only 9,000.
Yeah.
By senior high, there are only 8,000. By the time they get to college, there are only 5,000. By the time they graduate college, there are only 3,000. When it comes to employment, maybe there are only 1,000 left. So out of that 10,000 20 years ago, after 20 years, there's only 1,000 employees produced to work for the country. So what happened to those 9,000? They did not pass. Maybe they did not pass their algebra. They did not move on to the next level. They did not pass their whatever. They did not move on to the next level. So it's like an elimination system. And she said, you see, my wife is a doctor, and she's a very good doctor. And if she studied in the Philippines, she should not be a doctor because she hates math. And for you to pass college, to pass university, you need to pass your college algebra. And she hates math. She's so stupid when it comes to math. So if she failed her algebra, she should not be a doctor. Do you need algebra to be a doctor? No. Do you need PE to be a doctor? Or do you need Chinese subject to be a doctor? Not really. So basically, teachers would say, oh, we need to teach them the same things. We should not teach students different things. Like, oh, Rosie's good at this, so I'll just teach her this. Oh, Ariel's good at this, so I'll just teach her that. No, Rosie and Ariel should learn the same thing. Why? Why should they learn the same thing if they have different kind of mind? Maybe Rosie is better when she sings, and maybe Ariel is better when she dances. So why are you teaching? It's like, why are you teaching a fish to climb a tree? Of course, if you're teaching the fish to climb a tree, the fish would forever think that she is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why teach a fish to climb a tree? But if you let the fish swim, I'm pretty sure he could even be an Olympian. Maybe he's the best swimmer in the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what the fish do. So that's what the instructor was trying to tell us last night. So it's not because that, like for example, in Taiwan, there are a lot of universities that would not allow students to enter their university if they did not pass their standard grade. Maybe you need to get a 90 to get to this university. So you need to study very hard just to get a high score in their entrance exams, right? So does that mean they're a good university? And they were like, yeah, it's a good university. They have high standards. No, they're not a good university because they don't want to accept students who got a lower grade. They want an easier job. They want to accept students who doesn't need much guidance. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes. So they said it's not really a good university. A good university is a university who could enhance and develop a person's skill and to make them the best that they could be. Not to eliminate them and make them sorry for themselves.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to share it to you because I know the culture in Taiwan, they want to keep pushing their kids to be number one in class.
Yeah.
And it's like a competition between parents already, and kids are not happy about it. And kids are developing the attitude of competition as well. It's not competing with themselves, but competing with other people. Yeah. So maybe she doesn't really want to be a doctor, but hey, I think being a doctor is good because, I think my mama would be proud of me and this, and my aunties, my uncles, whatever. So it's not about them anymore. But are they happy being a doctor? Maybe not. So yeah, so that's it. Okay, it was actually a very good class last night.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ariel?
Yeah. Yes, like you said, the education in Taiwan has, people now are before, I mean, like 10 years ago, no one is talking about the education problem in Taiwan. But I think nowadays people, more parents are, they realize that the education there is some problem in the education system. So like you said, kids need to get have a lot of tests in order to get into the next level of school, like from junior to senior high and then to the university. And Taiwan government changed the education, our how do I say that? Our basic education was was um 50 years of basic education, and sorry, it was 9 years, and then they changed it to 12 years. So it's called 12 years of like national education, something like that. So the basic education changed. They have 3 more years, but all the kids need to be educated at least 12 years. I think that the beginning of the idea is good, but when it comes to the execution, uh, it gets torched. People, all the kids and the parents, they try very hard to get to the good schools instead of go to the schools near where they live. And it torched the initial idea of the 12 years education. And why the government, I mean the education, how do I say that? Even the government, they want to they want to help the kids to learn better, but at the end, all the kids are what they do is to have more tests and have more oh, I know what to say. Actually, when in my generation, when we want to get into a university, we need to take a national exam, and then after the exam, we will get a score of of the exam, and then we can pick the schools that we can get in, based on our scores. But nowadays, they don't have to have that kind of exam, but they split the exam. But now they have even more exam, like they are having 4 to 5 exams to get into, and then how do I say that? They don't have a unified one exam on one day. They have like 4 or 5 exams through the year of their through the last year of their high school, and then based on their scores, and also how they what and uh and their school apart from the scores, and also their they will see the students' school life, like did they join any clubs, or do they have any extra curriculum works, something like that. Anyways, they see much. They need to see the whole. They don't want to just see the test only. They want to see the whole school. How do I say that? Apart from the school part, apart from the the test part, they want to see other parts. And the
skills. There are other skills. It's not about what you call it. It's just not about their knowledge, like how they take the test. But yes, it's not just paper test. It's more about other skills as well that they're good at.
Yes, exactly. Like if do they join clubs? Do they have do they lead others? Do they can they swim, or do they have are they good at any kind of exercises or sports? Or can they play piano, something like that? It's not just about the test. But the point is, all the schools, and the point is, even they want to be like the Americans. They don't just look at the school the test, but at the end, how they do it is the process, and also the result is just making all the kids has more stress on the test. And they still cannot, like you said, they cannot learn based on their interests or personalities, or they cannot like like you said, they are still being taught by the same method, and everyone is sitting in the class and learning things um, uh, in the like the old ways. And so if a kid who, like you said, if she is not, if there is a kid who didn't score good at math, and she might get failed, and she cannot get into the next level. Yeah, anyways, what I mean is that
yeah, I know, I got what you're saying.
They want to change the education system to make it better, but the way they do it, and the process, and I think those people who are changing the how do I say that, changing regulations, they are they change the regulations.
The school regulations.
The education regulations, like from 10 years to from 9 years to 12 years.
Yeah, the education system.
Yeah, they changed the education system, and they, deep in their mind, they are still having the old education mindset. So it makes the change becomes we are learning from the Westerns. We are trying to learn from the Westerns, but at the end, it's like it's not. We didn't learn the core of the Western education, but at the end, it it becomes a strange and weird education system. Yeah. So yeah, my husband is very against it. So he didn't. She doesn't want Rosie to go through the normal Taiwanese education system.
So
yeah. So we think we will pick a Western style Western schools for her to to have educations. Yeah.
Isn't that more expensive?
Yeah, it is expensive, but he think it's better for her to develop Rosie, because me and my husband are, we grow up with the Taiwanese old system. We are good at test. We are good at score on test. So we survived. But that doesn't mean this kind of survival will make we a better doesn't mean that we can do good at the real life when it comes to work or it comes to a lot of things. Like for example, when we were in school, we don't have the opportunity to talk in public, to talk to our classmates. Everyone can only sit in our own chair and listen to the teachers. And what we do is memorizing everything. And but I think we think that memorizing things is just a small part of learning. It's not. It should not be the whole part of learning. The core of learning is to teach them how to think and how to find the solutions, find the answers, instead of ask them to memorize all the answers.
Right. Yeah. Because memorizing is not really learning. If you memorize, tomorrow you forget, But did you learn anything?
Yeah.
You actually did not learn anything, So, yeah. We were also talking about that last night. Yes, memorizing is not learning at all, actually. Yes. It's like you keep memorizing to pass. That's it. You're memorizing to pass. But, at the end, you did pass, but you did not learn anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know nothing, actually. So, so that's what we were talking about last night as well. Yes. So, yeah. So I guess during your time, it was about memorizing, right?
Yeah. It was totally memorizing all the textbook. And it's, we don't have time to read books except for textbook, because you have to memorize every single words on the textbook. Then so when I was a student, I was like, oh, reading is so boring. I couldn't find the fun part of reading. But actually, if you are reading on things that you are interesting, it gets, reading is very interesting. Is you will get you would like to read all day, and you won't, you by the you use the way that how I learned history when I was in junior high and senior high. I hate history, but if they teach history in other way, I think I will love it. I would love history or some other subjects, because it's because what they do is just ask you to memorize everything, and I think that's not the point. We don't know. If we just memorize things and do not think why the history, why why we come from, why the vampire collapse and then another vampire comes out, we do not know why, or we do not think why that happens. We only know how to memorize them. We are not, we're just machine, and not we are not even better than, machine are better than us to memorize everything. We don't want to be a machine. We are people. We need to think. We That's the only thing we are better than a machine, right? People thinks, but machine doesn't think.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's true. So basically, for our education, we need to enhance our students' analytical thinking. They need to know how to analyze, analyze a problem and not memorize formulas to solve a problem. So, analyze, yes. Think. They need to think. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so it's good, you know, if you plan to bring Rosie to a Western school just for that reason. I think it's actually good. Yes. Yeah, maybe you could consider, you know, just maybe. Oh, have you ever considered like living abroad?
Oh, yes, but for now, maybe when Rosie goes to college, at the time when Rosie goes to college, we would, if our economic situation is allowed us to do that, we will all go aboard. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So yeah, that's good. It's actually good. Yes. Yes. You know, anything for a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, Ariel, you have last minute questions before I let you go.
I have a question. I think it's very hard to explain my, is it because I think it's because my wording is too limited, so I cannot, there are a lot of things I want to express, but there are, words, there are lots of words I cannot, I don't know, or I cannot think of at the time.
Like you're running out of words
Yeah,
to say, but it's
yeah,
okay. You're actually surviving. You know, you're still able to express, or you're still able to deliver what you want to say. Tell you what, whatever that you want, that you told me today, I want you to type it here. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever that you wanted to express earlier, well, you were able to, but you know, you stop once in a while, think of a vocabulary, but you were still able to deliver. But tell you what, I want you to type things here, not like you're writing something, but like how you're gonna say it in person. Okay. Maybe you could say I think. Maybe you could say I think that blah 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 blah. Okay, whatever. So it's like it's like you're just talking to me, like a diary.
Yeah.
Okay. So just do that, and I will read it. I will read it on Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have Wednesday, Thursday to do that, and today.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That helps me think, and right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So that's your homework. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So talk to you on Friday, Ariel.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.